Football show. We're back. Brought to you by KG Law. What's going on, Cooks?
What's going on?
Whoa. Hold on. Did you just do a wardrobe change? Dude, we saw you like 6 minutes ago in our little pre-show deal. You did a wardrobe change.
If you must know, I spilled a little something, so I had to make a change. Sorry.
Fantastic. All right, so here's what we're going to do. There's been football every day, so we are going to look back, look forward, get you caught up, and I'm coining it. I'm just saying it. Today, the football played today, Jim, comprehensively the worst NFL Sunday of the millennium.
It's pretty rough.
They took all the good games and they pieced them all over the place. So let's get into it. Let's get into our 5 big things. Brought to you by KG Law. Jim, the Bears are real? Question mark. They announced themselves, put damn near 300 yards rushing on Philly in Philly, like they were Nebraska coming to Spartan Stadium in '95 with Lawrence Phillips. They bodied the Eagles. And look, I'm guilty as anybody. You, me, your Nona. Look, the Bears haven't beat anybody good. It's been a refrain. Okay, they went to Philly and dominated the Eagles. We have to take them seriously, right? Because guess what? With the Rams' loss, meet your new number 1 seed in the NFC.
The number 1 seed. And yeah, man, I can't do the, well, you have a minus point differential and who have you be? Mike, it wasn't as close as the score suggests.
No.
They ran up nearly 300 yards. And you know what they did this offseason? Their priority. You get Ben Johnson. You want to do all the fun things you did in Detroit. You bring in a center and 2 guards.
Yeah.
Amazing what that creates, how that paves paths, even when things aren't always pretty. And they've won some ugly football games. That stability, and in this case, that bullying is how they go into Philly and win.
Yeah, and it's also too. Listen, I don't want to make everything related to the Lions, but it's no secret where we broadcast from, and there are people who are here and they do want to hear about the Lions, which we'll get to later. It's also, you don't just line up and run the ball 50 times based on sheer dominance. Right. You're seeing Ben Johnson do exactly what he did in Detroit. The pre-snap candy, the motion, opening up the run game formationally, substitution packages, and then they've got a 1-2 punch there. It's not dissimilar to what they had here. It ain't Jahmyr Gibbs, but Swift isn't bad. And it ain't David Montgomery, but Monangai. It ain't bad. It's 1-2, thunder and lightning.
9-1 their last 10 football games. That's not an accident.
I don't think you can fake that. And look, I'm not telling you you're going to win every week. I'm not telling you they'll keep this pace up. But what it does set up is, for a long time, everybody, myself included, when it's Packers-Lions, no, Bears have earned their way into that convo. Now a split with Green Bay, it carries weight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still have to play the Niners. They still have to play the Lions. You're not supposed to win all those games. If Ben Johnson in year 1 gets this team 11-6 and in the playoffs, what are we talking about? Yeah. That's an A+.
Shirtless Ben Johnson, more of a problem than I gave credit to.
Yeah, and Lord knows we miss him here. All right, let's go to our second big thing. You just coined this. I'm going to ask your question. I'm going to give you your answer, and maybe we can shake hands. With the Rams going to Carolina and losing, is anyone great? Cutscene. No, the league is not designed to have anyone be great. It is a sea of levels of mediocrity. But it's early time window, right? You're West Coast to East Coast, 1 p.m. kick. It's a monsoon. And Matthew Stafford was like a one-man hand grenade today. Interception in the end zone, pick 6 in the red zone, fumble to kill the game when they're in field goal range. He hadn't had an interception since week 5, and he blew up today. And then defensively, look, let's face it, they still gave up 21 on defense, 24 on defense outside of that pick 6. Somehow the Panthers were balanced, and Bryce Young hit 15 of his 20 last throws, including 2 fourth downs. Let's talk Rams first.
Yeah.
Any major concern, or is it just, look, it's the NFL. You don't get to just keep winning. And then Panthers, I don't want to go to Bears levels, but we keep downplaying these guys.
Yeah.
That's a credibility win today.
Let's do both. Start with the Rams. It takes them off their pedestal. I don't know what the markets say. They still may be the betting favorites, but from this clear-cut best team in the NFL to back into the pack. You can say Stafford's first pick, tip ball, not his fault. Still had another pick, which was late and returned for a touchdown. And Mike, he had the ball at the end of the game to go win, and he gets stripped fumble. So,
and he almost threw another pick to the pylon earlier in the game. And I know coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm just saying he wasn't dialed in today. He was taking some weird chances.
I also feel like he invites everyone back into the MVP race because it looked like he was running away with it.
Maybe to a point. Hey, look, ultimately, I still think he's your MVP. I still think they're the best team in the NFC. I got no problem. You want to take them down off the pedestal.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a monolith. I don't think we have that type of Chiefs team or old school Patriots team. But look, show me again. Look, if they come out and look like this again, I'll have a bigger reaction. Yeah. I just think it was a rough game. Talk to me about Bryce Young. Talk to me about Carolina, because for me, Dave Canales deserves some serious consideration to just, even if you invite the guy to the dinner with no intent on giving him the award, Coach of the Year stuff. Jim, they've entered the chat for the playoffs now. They needed that game desperately, and they got it. That's win 7.
We got to the midpoint, and I thought they were a great story because they were doing this in spite of like a big leap from the quarterback. Mike, they showed a graphic today, and it's Bryce Young with Peyton Manning and Josh Allen.
The comeback thing, the fourth quarter thing?
Yeah. 11 game-winning drives by age 24. He's the youngest to ever have 11 game-winning drives. Now, some of that you have to be trailing, but some of that you got to find ways. And Mike, on 2 different fourth downs, not 4th and 1 where a little pitch, he had to make throws down the field multiple times to win the game today.
He is. Look, I just have a hard time.
I know he's vertically challenged. There are physical limitations. None of that changed, but he did this in college too, man. Against big, fast, strong athletes, he found ways to make plays.
You think they're going to stick with him?
At this point, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is a rookie scale deal. Maybe you do another year of insulation. And let's face it, I don't think anyone's demanding a Super Bowl if they can make the playoffs. And look, we just saw what took place with Minnesota. I mean, they got off of Darnold and got in the J.J. McSizzle and Bob Brosmer business.
Well, and think about this for Carolina. They will play the Buccaneers twice at the final month or so of the season here. They can win this division still.
Well, and again, it muddies up the NFC waters, because whether you're a Cowboy fan, a Lions fan, a Packer fan, you do not need another team threatening the 10-win threshold. That is not what you needed on your Thanksgiving weekend. Let's go to number 3, and this one is for cookies because it's more overriding. And I wanted to enter Buffalo into this too, but it's titled When Love Dies. Like, you love the Chiefs. No, the only person who loves them more is Nick Wright. But you love the Chiefs, and you are a Ravens guy, and I give you full credit. You were there at the 1-5 bottom. What was that on Thanksgiving night?
I know.
But you have a chance. I don't think it'll happen, but there's a chance you could have a playoff this year that features no Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes, and no Josh Allen. That is on the table, Jim, because I think Buffalo and the Lions are a Spider-Man meme. They have problems. I know they won today because Aaron Rodgers is atrocious.
Yeah.
But where are you at? Ravens, confidence level, they still get this thing done because, of course, the Steelers spit the bit.
Yeah.
And Chiefs. One gets in, both gets in, neither gets in. Where do you stand after 2 devastating losses to your tiny little heart? I'm
not going to defend Lamar this year, but I am going to point out they're still in the driver's seat in the AFC North. And they came into today 60% chance to win the division. That's before the Steelers lost. They're going to play twice. Aaron Rodgers came into the day, all wrapped up, and he got hurt. I still think the Ravens win that division. The Chiefs, it's murkier. Like, they're going to face the Texans this week. They have to run the table, it feels like.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, the Texans are as impressive as it gets to me, because that's an old school defense. That's the 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. That's that level of defense. Now, no one will ever – remember, they played in different eras. You could hold people to 6 points. I'm saying for their era, that's what we're watching. And they took apart the Colts. We're going to get to that in a second. But look, here's what's going to happen. I just want to future cast something, because you and I had a red-hot week on our podcast, Cash the Ticket. So the holiday week, sizzling. We didn't take an NFL loss. It was one that was beautiful. So while I'm hot, let me make a declaration. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to shit on the Ravens all year. And then we're going to get into wild card round. And the Ravens are going to win a playoff game. And I need you to demand that I take the Ravens. That's the psychology of it.
Look, they absolutely, they'll be there. I still feel like they will be there. They'll be hosting that first playoff game, and they absolutely can win that first playoff game. It's later that Lamar lets everybody down.
Fourth thing, how about them Cowboy? You know I've been all over this Cowboy train the last few weeks. I did it again this week. Jim, look, winners of 3 straight. They beat Philly and Kansas City in a 4-day stretch. Their reward, welcome to Detroit on Thursday night primetime this is the Alamo for the Lions. Look, I feel like at minimum, the defense has now become average,
Mm-hmm.
just average. And the offense at its best, it's a complete monolith. They have a physical ground game. This is where I almost wonder, like, I hate the apology crap. We have opinions. We talk. I don't want to apologize, but like Jerry's kind of been right on stuff. Now, I didn't slander the Micah Parsons thing the way others did. And I actually liked the Quinnen Williams thing, and I got made fun of on my kickoff show with Boomer. Those things worked. Pickens has worked. Javonte Williams has been dollar for dollar one of the best free agent signings out there. And oh, by the way, while you were sleeping and guys got old like Tyron Smith and, Travis Frederick retired and Zach Martin, boop, 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 drafted it, refilled it. O-line's dominant again. Jim, they're going to be favored after Detroit the next 4 games. I've already looked at the futures.
But play the math. Okay, so you say, let's just give them credit for the games. They'll be favored and they'll lose the one they won't. That means they're going to go 10-5-1. Does that get you in?
10-6-1.
Or excuse me, 10-6-1.
Does that only get you in? Remember, because of the tie, it does make them bulletproof almost at the 10-win mark. No, if someone gets to 11, yeah, you're right. But here's the question. It does
feel like 11 is the number we're going to use for the Lions later. Yeah. Dallas needs to beat Detroit for me to believe they're a playoff team.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make a point. They're here. I don't think anyone's going to be excited to play him. Dak, put him in that MVP conversation. I don't have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. And Jerry Jones, I know for all the bullshit, they've made some sharp moves, man. That team they're a lot. This is the other thing that people make a mistake with. And guys in our business do it. They get attached to these results in week 1 or 2, and then they want to hold that result up like a Heisman Trophy in week 14. And it's like, dude, if you can't see the difference between the Chicago Bears in week 2 and week 12, or the Cowboys in week 2 and week 13, then I can't help you. What's past is past. It's a part of your record, but it's not who you are today.
Well, there's no way anybody thought they were going to beat Kansas City on Thanksgiving Day a month ago. So,
I like the 3.5 points, but I felt good about it.
But I'm saying a month ago, you would have said they're going to be slaughtered at home for the nation to see. Jerry's going to have his face shoved in the dog poop and the cow poop. Mike, they won the game, and you're right. They've got 2 difference makers on the outside. A quarterback can sling it, and with the defense that gives you at least enough of a chance, they're a problem.
It also shows you, too, how a change of scenery can help a guy. Quinnen Williams looked like a guy who hated playing football for money with the Jets. He goes to Dallas, and you're going, oh, there's the all-pro. Well, that's nice.
And it does open up the possibility that they do spring the upset this week. I'm talking about someone like Quinnen Williams. That's where the Lions are vulnerable.
Yeah. All right, last one. Let's talk Colts because I think the AFC South, it warrants a discussion now. And I was in a wait and see. I wanted to give it 1 week with Daniel Jones playing through a cracked fibula. Didn't have that on my bingo card. And what did they do? They lose. I mean, it's another week they don't get 100 yards rushing. Daniel Jones doesn't look the same. The protection doesn't look the same. The running game doesn't look the same. All of that means that the vertical passing offense doesn't look the same. Defensively, since Buckner got hurt, look, the Texans went on the road in the division and took care of business. I thought they screwed up with some analytics. I don't know what we were doing here, D'Amico. You got the number 1 defense in football. You're up 4. It's the 4th quarter. Let's make it 7. We don't need to do the gutsy stuff. Just go up 7. You got a bunch of dogs over there. Let them eat.
I don't think he gets enough credit nationally, D'Amico Ryans, because they had to survive without Stroud for multiple weeks.
Yeah.
This defense, his side of the ball, is number 1 in football. And, Mike, they aren't just line it up with our front 4 and get home. They do a good job of showing blitz and bailing. It's complex. It's not just we've got better players. They do. But it's also a well-schemed defense, and it's what's got them all the way back in this thing now. I was never a Colts guy, and for anybody that was doing the Jonathan Taylor MVP, this is why running backs don't win MVP.
No, you can. I'm guilty. I brought it up a couple of times. If the guy was scoring 3 touchdowns a week, we talked about it. I know. Have to have as a running back. Well, you basically got to have a 30 touchdown season.
Well, but there's this thought like MVP, why has it become a quarterback award? Because the quarterback's the most valuable. And I think you see
Minnesota. That's why.
And it's no knock on Taylor, the player, but how much of an impact can he have when your quarterback plays not any good and people can stack the box and make life miserable? Mike, he ran for 80 yards on 20-plus carries, just a really inefficient slog of a game.
But what you're highlighting is also why I've said for years we do not pay running backs. Like, I do not want to pay running backs. I think you can draft them. I think you can find them. I'm not telling you they'll be as good as the guy, but I can take the 20 mil I got to spend on the guy, and I'll go get a big heavy up front on either side of my line, and they'll impact winning more. So I'm with you. Now, who are we going? We're not doing this Duval shit again, are we?
So I want to say Houston's winning this division. They got KC this week. Could they win out? They get Houston. They get Indy in Houston near the end of the season. I think it's Houston, right?
I know, but the Jags are in first right now. I had to make that point. I know they beat the Titans. I can't trust them still.
Yeah.
It would be the Texans, because that defense, if I rank out every unit in that division, that singular unit is the best unit, and I don't even think it's close in that division. Yeah. Can they carry Houston? Yeah, I think they can. I probably would go Houston. Like right now, I don't know what the number is. I haven't looked. What number would you need to take the Chiefs? Don't tell. Now, is that game in Houston or Arrowhead? Forgive me.
I don't know, but I'm going to guess it's north of 5, right? Let's pull it up. We can do this for people.
Yeah, I don't care. We're live. Let's just give me a number.
I'll give you a number here in a second.
All right, but that's it. I just had to ask the question so we can get to a word from our sponsor. We can get to the rundown with your updated number and maybe another wardrobe change. Evan,
I got it.
What do you got?
4.5 in KC. KC favored by 4.5.
No way. Give me the points.
Okay.
Look, we saw that defense damn near beat Kansas City last year before the scriptwriters took hold and called a bunch of bogus personal fouls. You remember that game? No way. Oh, to hell with that stuff. No, give me the Texans. All right, let's get a word from KG. We'll get to the rundown of some of the most egregious football ever played.
All right, tell you about KG Law. Someone you care about's injured in a car accident, you need KG Law. Lawrence KG and KG Law specialize in car accidents. You're going to get that personal attention to detail from someone who cares about you. Let me tell you about Lawrence KG. He's a Detroiter. He's a down-to-earth dude, and he's someone you want in your corner. He built his business doing things the right way and delivering for his clients. KG Law's won millions of dollars, 98% success rate. Check him out, 877-KG-CARES. It's right there on the screen, KAJY, KGCares.com.
Our rundown brought to you by Hungry Howie's. You see that delightful logo floating near Jim's head. No wardrobe change. Atlanta at the Jets. I'm just proud. That's all. I'm just proud because Raheem Morris is so garbage. That team, that franchise, they are odious. They are garbage juice. They're not even the garbage. They are the liquid at the bottom of the bag. As the Jets win 27-24, Atlanta found every way to lose. You muff a punt. You give up a kickoff return for basically a touchdown. You blow a cover on A.D. Mitchell. Who the hell knew he was even alive? Again, all I'll tell you is this. I stood by Aaron Glenn when they were winless. We saw it here in Detroit with Dan Campbell. I think it's starting to take hold for Aaron Glenn. They traded their best players. This team isn't laying down, and they're not supposed to measure up against the Green Bay Packers. But like they're winning some games. They're competing. They've got a gaggle of draft capital. I thought it was a really nice sign for Aaron Glenn to win that game and to keep his program moving forward.
This time of year, when you're a bad football team, people are swirling and there's not a lot of nice things to say. This is legitimately a bad team with upside. Dan Campbell's first year in Detroit, they won 3 games. With the win today, the Jets now have 3 wins. Yeah. And it was not pretty, right? You had a punt return to set you up. You had a muff punt to get a touchdown. It doesn't have to be pretty. You need buy-in. He's got buy-in. That's as good as anything you could have right now because no one thought they were making the playoffs.
No, and look, I think they have their tackles of the future with Fashanu and Membo or whatever his name is. You've got Breece Hall. If they can get him to stop talking about getting traded, you have Garrett Wilson. You need a quarterback. That's it. They get a quarterback. It's going to exponentially move the thing forward. I'm just going to blind faith trust. Aaron Glenn's going to get that defense going the way it needs to go. And they've got the draft picks to do it all. So nice job for them. For Atlanta, just burn the whole fucking thing down. Honestly, just burn the whole thing. Just trade everyone. Burn it down. Start over again. It doesn't work. This collection of players, the people that coach these players, it is a collection of complete losers. They just find ways to lose. Just, you're done. All of it. It's over. Is that too harsh? I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, but what about Bijan and Drake London and Kyle? They lose. They just lose. Dolphins, Saints. You know who the losers were? Anyone who watched this shit. Dolphins 21-17. Here's the nicest thing I can tell you. Achan was electric and physical. That concludes my comments. This game was hideous. But I do have a question for Jim after he tells you about all the ways the Dolphins wanted to lose this game.
Yeah, it felt like they were really doing everything they could to lose. You give up an onside kick, you can't score in the second half. They had a field goal, and they had 2 points going the other way and a 2-point conversion. The only points they scored, begging the Saints, who had the ball late with a chance to win, to beat them. This counts as a win for Miami. Nothing inspiring about it.
All right. Why do teams do this? Ready? You know you're bad. You know there's no scenario you'll be good. Why do you use a second or a third round pick on a quarterback? Because then you're terrible again. You're going to take that quarterback, and it's going to be like that commercial that plays during all the games on Fox, the quiz with balls. Bing! And you're going to send the quarterback into that pool of misery, and you're going to draft another one. Ergo, you wasted a second or third round pick. Why did the Saints take Tyler Shuck as if that was the fucking answer? And now you're going to be picking number one. Shuck is dilly-dilly in the pit of misery, and you vaporized a pick. It's the same shit the Texans did with Davis Mills back in the day.
That's the comparison. It makes no sense. It does. You're just going to have to wear it for a year. Why waste the second round pick? Everybody understands the Saints will pick in the top 5. They'll pick a quarterback, and Shuck will be relegated. Why waste the pick?
I don't know why teams do it. If I owned a team, it would be like my only rule. Like short of telling guys you have to wear pants to the draft. Or you can't be shirtless like Ben Johnson at the draft. We are not wasting draft picks on marginal Grandpa Simpson-aged quarterbacks when we know we're going to be bad this year.
Yep.
Jags, Titans. Jags a lot, Titans a little. A game was played. What am I supposed to take out of this? Yes, it's all business, okay? Jaguars +2 in the turnover category. Was Trevor Lawrence that great? Fine enough. The Jags do what they need to do. But when you're playing the Titans, who are clearly one of the single worst, oh, by the way, next week in Cleveland, over under 9.5 for the game. You're playing a team that's so bad, it's just a but performance. So congrats. You didn't shit down your leg. I don't know what else to say. I can't take it serious. The Titans are horrific.
Yeah, Titans game should not be televised. In fact,
Brown should be on Sunday Night Football. All of America should be subjected to that.
And you see, like,
we watch.
I even had to go back. I go, wait, how did the Titans win a game this year? Do you remember the game they won this year?
I don't know, through osmosis. I have no idea.
Like the Cards, like the Cardinals let them win the game.
Okay, hold on. I remember this now. The Cardinals had, I think they had a fumble 6. Then I think they had a sack, and it was on the 1 yard line. They were up 20-7 in that game and melted down. That's how.
That's it.
That's sad. All right, Bucs Cards. Bucs win 20-17. Here's my problem in all of this. I didn't think the Bucs looked good at all. Very, very sloppy. Bad end zone interception, red zone penalties, drops. Look, the Bucs have just lost steam. Now, I understand. Get out with a win. Next week, I mean, you take in New Orleans, you get a little more momentum. Hopefully, you get to 8-5. But beyond it, the Bucs have got to get their juice back, man. It is just not there right now.
Yeah, but I'm going to look at it a little differently. No, it wasn't inspiring, but they had lost 3 straight games. Panthers are on their heels. Panthers beat the Rams. They had to win this game today. They get Bucky Irving back. He finds the end zone. And Mike, they had to hang on. I know Baker's dealing with something, but here are their final 4 drives. Punt, a field goal on a 0-yard drive. They got to take over on downs.
Oh, a little change of possession. You play with your food and just take the 3.
Yeah, so punt, field goal, punt, kneel down. Like, they had to hang on to get the win, but you're right. Now you beat the Saints next week. You start to try to give yourself a chance at the end of the season here.
Yes. Niners, Browns. This was our disgusting under. I cajoled you into at under 36.5, and, well, they delivered. Thanks, guys. Shadur Sanders, you can talk about it. I'm not interested. The Browns just are god-awful. Muff a punt, disastrous 4th down fumbles twice on a tush-push delight. Drops. You know what the Niners do? Nothing. We're just going to bump along. We're going to hand the rock off. We're going to do what we need to do. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty. It's a 30-degree day, nasty weather, tons of wind. Hey, if you know what, basically the Bucs are the Niners are the Bucs as far as how they played. Survive, advance, move. Niners get, I think, the benefit of something that should never happen. How do you have a week 14 bye?
It's miserable.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like
but guess what? No team's going to benefit more. The longer you wait to get that bye, the more impactful it is.
Well, and now you sit there and you realize how well they're positioned. They're up to 9 wins. They still get to play the aforementioned Titans before the season's done.
So there's 10.
That's their first game out of a bye. Then you got 3 weeks and you're already at double digits. So they're in a great spot, but I'll continue to look at their run game. 31st in yards per carry for a Kyle Shanahan team. That feels like a red flag waiting to happen for this team. Mike, there are 3 touchdowns today. You know the longest touchdown drive they had?
Like 20 yards.
32 yards.
Yeah. It was all short field. The Browns just went full Atlanta. Yeah. Like we're turning Atlanta into a verb. You don't Atlanta yourself. Vikings, Seahawks. I have an alert. I have a PSA for the United States of America. People, we have found someone. We have hand-selected someone worse than J.J. McCarthy. And his name is Frank Bosmer.
Mike,
this kid,
talk about
holy shit.
The single worst interception I've ever seen, and I know I have to be specific.
What the hell was that?
I got to be specific because he threw 4 of them today.
But that one, he was horizontal to the ground.
No chance of completing that pass.
Do you think Kevin O'Connell is just like, okay, what have I done to deserve? Now, look, if O'Connell was the one driving the JJ bus, you got to own it.
Yeah.
Can they just hand Mac Jones $100 million now over the course of 3 years? Can we just get that done and move forward?
Yep.
There is no scenario. I feel so bad for the vets on this roster, the guys who are putting their body on the line, and you got Frank Brosmer, or whatever the hell this asshole's name is. You got to be kidding me.
Mike, and you know who I think we're going to start hearing more from is Justin Jefferson.
He looks miserable. They go to him on the bench. Oh, my God.
I see a stat come across the screen. Catches today. Tristan Wirfs 1. At the time, Justin Jefferson 0.
JSN 0. Tristan Wirfs 1. Yeah, no, it's awful. And again, Flores just basically dusted off the Jared Goff game plan and rolled it out here. Excuse me, that was in the like Flores did everything he could. That defense did everything they could. They killed Sam Darnold. They killed him.
I know.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
If they get a quarterback, they're easily a 10-11 win team, man. That's a good roster. Bills, Steelers, I was bummed. I was actually hoping this was going to be a little holiday magic in the 4 p.m. Steelers got up 7-0, and then done. Halftime, everybody got orange slices and Uncrustables, and the Bills just woke up and killed this team. The problem, look, Bills are down their tackles. They can't really protect. There's no verticality. Like Shakir, they tried to throw a couple balls for 0 yards, but they pounded the rock. They were able to rack up. This is how you know the Steelers are fake. In what world is the highest paid defense in the league who plays in Pittsburgh incapable of stopping a run? 230 yards rushing. Okay, but I don't believe in the Bills at all. Bills are the Lions are the Bills.
The one you said that earlier, I'll push back on this. At least the Bills have something they can lean on. They can run the football.
Okay.
The Lions didn't run it against Green Bay in either meeting, couldn't run it in Kansas City, and didn't run it in Philadelphia. At least I know with the Bills, I can go multi-headed monster, Allen, Cook, run it. Now, is it enough to win the Super Bowl? No, I don't think that is. But I would not put them with the Lions. I think they have a clear strength. The Lions don't right now.
Chargers, Raiders, will keep it short and simple. If I am Ashton Genty, I refuse to show up to work. I just don't do this anymore. You can't hand me the football, and then I have 2 people trying to kill me as I take collection of said football. Jim, I've never seen a running back get hit more behind the line of scrimmage than this kid. He has no chance. Here's my question. I'm being dead serious when I say this. Wouldn't you save the 100 touches of pure assassination and just shut it down? It's not helping you win. You made this investment in him.
Well, yeah.
we're done. It's people. If I encourage you, never watch a Raider game. But if you find yourself in a far-flung bar and the Raiders game is the only thing on, Jim, I've never seen anything like it. They run these toss plays. 4 defenders are out there like it's unbelievable.
I thought you were going to say, should he pull himself out? I'm glad you clarified. The team shouldn't put the tread on the tires. What's the point on a 2-10 season to just, hey, sledgehammer him into the line? Why?
It's crazy. I'd shut it down. Chargers win. But again, I don't think they're going anywhere. Herbert got hurt again today, had a hand problem. They're just, look, Pipkins back helped a little, but I mean, Crosby dominated him. I just think the Chargers is empty calories. All right, we'll get a word from our sponsor, Hungry Howie's, and we got to talk a little Lions. Listen, Hungry Howie's got you covered football. 51% off any large, round, original, or thin crust pizza with any of your favorite toppings. So whether you're a minimalist, just like a cheese pizza, or you want to load this thing up, whatever it is, 51% off. All you need to do, go to hungryhowies.com, order up a large round for carryout, and you're good. No strings attached, no BS, no copious legal. 51% off. Go to hungryhowies.com before it's too late. It's Hungry Howie's. Our Marantz Chevrolet brings us our Lions discussion preview diddly-doo-dah. Jim, I want you to take the lead. It's your team. It was your Thanksgiving. I had a chance to be on the air Friday. I know you didn't. So why don't you take the lead? I'll see if I can fill in the blanks. Yeah,
let me just start with this. I've spent too much time looking at scenarios of, well, do they need to go 4-1 or they have to go 5-0? None of it matters if they're going to play this way. 3-4 in the last 7 games. And Mike, on Thanksgiving Day, I watched LaFleur come in to Dan Campbell's house and go 3 for 3 on 4th down, 2 touchdowns in the game icing play. I watched Micah Parsons, who they were bold enough to acquire, come in and impact the quarterback, come up with 2.5 sacks. And I got to look out for Aiden Hutchinson, and he's on a milk carton. I got to watch a team that used to be built on toughness and running the football struggle to run the football. Like, you can't say it's our identity when it never shows up in any of the big games. And now at 0-2 against the Pack, 1-3 in the division, they're effectively 2 games back of the Packers and 3 back of San Francisco with tiebreakers. Mike, I no longer expect this team to make the playoffs.
I'm not there yet until Thursday, but yeah, I mean, you've kind of said it all. Like, my issue in all of this is, like, I struggle is I don't know why people want to fight what they're actually watching. Like, we all want it to be a certain way, but that's not the way it is. And I think the fan reaction to the criticism of the team, it's very similar to Dan Campbell's 4th down calls, if I may. Dan Campbell is calling the game like it's the way it was.
Yes.
It's not the way it is.
Can I give you a number on that?
Sure.
Last year, this team was top 5 converting 4th downs. Where do you think they are this year percentage-wise?
I mean, last year they were like 85%. I'd probably say they're a coin flip right now.
They're 19th in the league at 52%. It's a coin flip. Right. Now, Mike, here's the thing. You don't have Sam Laporta. No. You don't have an interior offensive line that consistently generates a push. And now, at least short term, you don't have St. Brown. So for a team that has gone 0 for 7 the last 3 weeks on 4th down, Dan, you don't have last year's team. You have to punt and kick a little more. And if you're saying, well, my defense is no good either, well, then I don't know what you want me to tell you. Then you're just not going to the playoffs and you're not good enough.
The other thing, too, and look, sometimes whether it's, us in life or businesses, teams, sometimes you got to taste your own blood, right? You got to get knocked on your ass to figure out, all right, I wasn't doing it the right way. This organization from Brad Holmes on down, they got to drop this shit of, why do we need something else? We have Aiden, because Aiden's not good enough. Now, before everyone goes nuts in the chat, hear what I'm saying. Aiden's a very good football player. He's just not great. He's very good. But what I'm tired of, like I joke with you, Cookies. I said this on the air the other day. It's like they're creating stats to defend Aiden. And that's the job of a PR department, but it doesn't mean you have to value it. Oh, Aiden led the team with 6 tackles. Where the fuck were his 6 tackles? Honestly.
Well, tackles are a real stat.
But how are we grading those? Those are like secondary assists in hockey. Who's giving those out?
Well, and even PFF shit on him in that last game. They gave him a terrible grade against the Packers. So And I think there even needs to be nuance. For as much as we've created stats to paint a better picture for people, where are the tackles happening? Are they TFLs or are they 8 yards back going the other way?
Time to pressure.
Yes.
Your pressures are only as valuable as how long they take to develop.
Is the pressure 2 seconds or 4 seconds into the drop back? Because that does make a difference in whether the quarterback has to hurry his decision making. The stat by itself doesn't paint the whole picture. And Aiden's very good. He plays a ton of snaps. He plays the run. He hustles.
But he needs help, and that's okay.
Exactly.
But help him.
Yes.
Like, this is where Brad Holmes failed this team starting in the offseason, then into the draft, then into the trade deadline. It's a hat trick. He had 3 opportunities, and they refused. And what kills me and what should kill you, Jim, is they hitch their wagon to unreliable assets. Josh Paschal, well, he's done for the year again. Marcus Davenport allegedly played 23 snaps. Where? You've been gone for 10 weeks. You may as well have stayed out 11. Like, I can't understand their lack of devaluing. Anywhere you watch today, if you can run the ball and you can rush the passer, you win. This team's base 4 rush is trash.
Well, those are the 2 things. So you said, hey, they screwed up. Brad screwed up, didn't get Aiden help. I'm not fighting you there. I think the bigger screw up is the 2024 NFL draft. You want to talk about watering the garden on the offensive line?
That's when it was here. They went corner.
Yes.
We all wanted like Zach Frazier or Jackson Powers Johnson or what was it, Cooper Beebe or whatever his name was.
Or Graham Barton, who's starting at center for Tampa. There were a bunch of guys who are currently starting who play the interior of the offensive line that they could have gotten in either the first or the second round. If you love Terrion, fine, but you have to address the offensive line a year early because you can't be plugging and playing guys and expecting to have the same result. So when you want to water the garden, well, you better have planted the seeds a year in advance because trying to do this on the fly, it is not working for this football team.
No. The other thing, too, is lighting your third-round picks on fire, getting exotic and cute and drafting guys without profiles, guys who don't know how to play, backup quarterbacks, or giving 3 of them up for a receiver that you clearly don't have a real intention on playing. All right, we can move on.
Before we move on, the math of this all, right?
Yeah, buddy.
So I said I don't expect them to get in. That doesn't mean they can't. I currently don't expect them to win 4 of the next 5 or 5 of the next 5. But just so people understand, we're going to be dealing with hoping and rooting for other people, even if this team gets it right, and I'm not sold they will. Mike, with Green Bay playing Chicago, you need to hope for a sweep one way.
Yes,
and ideally,
it hurts.
And ideally, it's the Bears who get swept because Detroit can hold the tiebreaker and get within a game of Week 18 and make Chicago earn it. Any other scenario, like I said, San Francisco's not the team you want to chase. They have 8 NFC wins already. They are going to win a tiebreaker. You're going to need to get more than them, and they already have 2 more wins than Detroit. You really start to find yourself in a dark place, and I'm sure people are going, well, why is there doom and gloom? Because the Lions have done it the Lions have done it to themselves. We don't control this. They do.
Yeah, thank God you beat my team, okay? Otherwise, doom and gloom would be a bonus plan. All right, let me give you a word from the sponsors, and then we'll get to the question of the week. It is here, Cyber Monday, the sale, Moran Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer. Elevate your tailgate and your weekend in a 26 Chevy Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cab. Cyber Monday leases, $99 a month. 0 down, 24-month, 10,000-mile lease. $99 a month with 0 down. You need something a little more compact. The 26 Chevy Equinox, $279 a month, $999 down. Team at Moran, they make it fast, simple, stress-free. Lock it in online, moranexpress.com, or stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. The team Moran, they make it easy. Quick approval, zero pressure, no BS. It's Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price, period. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. All right, Cookies. We're going to expand a little more because the question of the week brought to you by C4 Energy is from CJ in Lapeer. Brad Holmes does not like to make big plays when it comes to drafting or trading. How much does it hurt the Lions organization? Again, I'm going to let you go first. I think my stance is pretty damn well known.
So, you have to do the obligatory, he resuscitated, he drafted well, he's found all pros. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you are at the big boy table, and you are competing with big boys, and they are willing to mortgage their future, and the Lions are playing for sustained success. So you're going to always be a step behind other people who are willing to do things you aren't willing to do.
Correct. If you want what you've never had, do what you've never done. And for Holmes, it's simple. If this is about selling season tickets and just being good-ish, then that's not going to be the same as what your opponents are doing. It doesn't mean you can't still get home and get it done. But yeah, Jim, I think this offseason they have to take a serious look in the mirror. And it's gonna have some difficult conversations no matter what happens. Short of them making a Super Bowl or winning it, it's going to be, okay, we're going to retool. This started last year where they felt like we have everything we need here. We're fully insulated. We don't need others' help, and we're just going to do it our way. Injuries took it away from us. That has clearly been a misstep when you compound it with losing your coordinators. Now, look, this is where Dan Campbell's got to take some heat for the John Morton disaster. We're going to give him credit for Kelvin Shepard, and I'm good with Shep. Yeah. I like what he's done. I think he's a rising star. You're going to lose him soon enough. John Morton was a debacle. You didn't make it. The leaves didn't turn before you advanced them. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think you said something great in there too. Like, okay, we were talking about them making the playoffs, not making a run. Like, yeah. I don't see them making a run, which is a huge, hey, you got to look in the mirror and say, what the hell happened? And Mike, in terms of their flexibility, they have begun locking guys up to mammoth deals. Their flexibility was last year and the year before. That is now going to squeeze them. Jared Goff's going to need to be restructured. Their Aiden deals, the walls are going to start closing in on what they can do. They'll have options, but not the options they had last offseason or the offseason prior. So they have boxed themselves in. This core has to do it, and this core we don't even think is making a run this year.
No, and look, the Goff thing, be careful too. And this isn't a me thing. I'm fine with Goff. I know the covenant I signed. I heard you on the air last week before the holiday.
With the football gods.
Yeah, I know what I have to do if he's my quarterback. But the minute you restructure him, you need to understand something. There's no out. Once you restructure that deal, you're going to be stuck with him for probably 4 years.
Yeah.
So if you are unsure, you can't do that.
So that's my deal with Goff, by the way. Like, he hasn't changed. He's the guy they paid after making those playoff runs, right? When they won multiple playoff games with him, and it's not his fault they lost that NFC title game in San Francisco. There's certainly 4 or 5 other things I'd point to first. That guy is still that guy. He hasn't changed. What's changed is the Lions' support around him has eroded. Yeah. So who's responsible? Flow chart, Mike. You love your flow charts. That goes back to the top to Brad Holmes.
Yeah, that's where, hey, guess what? I hope you enjoyed the honeymoon because it's over. Now we're all used to winning. Well, what are you winning? And if it's nothing of substance, criticism comes with it. So stop playing dress up at the draft and stop mocking people who want to get pass rushers, and let's get back to work. All right, let's get a word from C4. We'll preview Sunday Night Football.
If you have a question for us, get to a participating 7-Eleven and look for the QR code at the C4 Energy display or on the cooler. Scan the QR code and ask the question. For a list of participating 7-Eleven, find the list and contest details at 971theticket.com. C4 Energy is the energy drink you need. 200 milligrams of good caffeine in the performance or 300 in the ultimate energy. And C4, it's not your traditional energy drink. It's next level, sugar-free, made for athletes. They don't fill it with junk. And C4 just rolled out their Jim Costa approved Jolly Rancher flavors, and they study everything. And a bunch of things I can't pronounce are in it, but it's all good. C4 Performance Energy or the Ultimate Energy at 7-Eleven. And remember, if you got a question, get to a 7-Eleven, find the QR code at the C4 Energy display today.
All right, Cooks, Sunday Night Football, Broncos laying 6.5 with the Commanders. I'm not looking to sully. You and I had a really nice run here between college and pro this week, and, a couple of nice wins today in the league. I'm not going to force anything. But look, this to me is dicey. You get a team basically going cross-country travel. I never like that. You got a team laying 7 on the road. I never like that. You're asking me to bet on Marcus Mariota. No, thank you. And it's an old defense that looks like it's laid down. So here's my question. If people demanded a play, can I dip into the cookie jar? And I just want to reach in and RJ Harvey plus 110 anytime touchdown.
You're just trying to.
What?
We'll go there. I'm playing his dad in fantasy, and my season depends on RJ Harvey having a rough day. He's got Harvey tonight. So, of course, Mike, plus 110, RJ Harvey. He's also got Broncos defense. So if you can bet on a defensive touchdown, throw that in there too.
It is the return of Patrick Surtain in the second.
Yeah. He'll get a pick 6 tonight. It'll be your dad dancing on my grave.
No, I just think Washington's a corpse, and I do think Denver wants to hammer the ball and get the hell out of there. Go home.
Yeah. So how about an underplay?
Don't hate it. Denver just doesn't play that way. Their pass rush is wicked. I can't imagine Mariota. Now, look, it's going to be, what is it? McLaurin's back tonight. Samuel is out. Yeah, I would lean it's a primetime under. That's generally a thing.
If you need a play.
Yeah, I don't. We had a really nice holiday run that made up for a bad week the week prior. Plus, now I got a lot of dry powder to get dusted conference title week, and it's going to be very exciting. But no, I would go Harvey anytime, maybe the under. What's the under sitting at? 44.5 right now?
43.5. You just go with your dad dancing on my grave. RJ Harvey anytime touchdown.
Crocodile cloth, I've made a mess. Go ahead.
As always, the preview is brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. It's your do-it-all solution for life's toughest messes. They've introduced Crocodile Cloth Grill, and that's what we wanted to talk about on the show. It's what you need if you love grilling. If you're going 365, you're going to want to pick this up. If not, stock up for when the weather gets nicer. These Crocodile Cloth grill cloths are the perfect addition to your game day tailgates, backyard grilling projects, all of it. Crocodile Cloths, grill cloths are made for grillers and the outdoor entertainers. They're tough cloths. They're big, 10-inch by 15-inch. They stay wet a long time, and they're going to power through sticky baked-on grease and food. Crocodile Cloth Grill can clean your cooler, your outdoor furniture, and everything that gets messy at the tailgate. So go to crocodilecloth.com/football show for a tailgate bundle and a free gift. As they say at Crocodile Cloth, go ahead, get messy.
All right, football show in the can. 5 more to go, Jim. I don't know how the hell we've already done 13 of these, but 5 more as we get you through the holidays. And Jim, wardrobe change. Good for you. That was a new one for the show. Did we miss anything? Or are we good?
We didn't, other than people begging to get your thoughts on Pat Fitzgerald. I'm sure you'll do that tomorrow on your radio show.
I will tell people I am emotionally processing. I had an initial reaction. I've had several reactions since. Allow me the evening. Allow me. I need a weed gummy. I need a good 7 hours of sleep. I really got to process. I can just tell you things are not going great for me right now in the football world. So let's move it on. That's the football show. We'll talk tomorrow.